Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Mariam Ramin and with me is Aisha Masood. Today we'll be presenting our complete business process re-engineering report based on all 4 assignments done for Exceed IT services. To make this easier to follow, we have split the presentation in parts. I'll be starting with part 1 where we focused on identifying the company's major challenges and proposing initial solutions. And after that, Aisha will take over with the next phases of the BPR process. So let's begin with a quick intro to the company we worked on. So the company we picked is Exceed IT Services. They are an international IT consulting and software solutions company with offices across the Middle East and Pakistan, including one in Islamabad. They have over 400 employees and offer things like IT support, custom tech solutions, and outsourced resources. We got in touch with their HR representative, Janat Maheen, who helped us connect different managers so we could understand how things really worked on the inside. Now, before we jumped into processing any changes, we wanted to understand how their current system works, so we used a technique called process mapping. Basically, we sat down with their manager, observed how different teams interact, and made diagrams of their actual workflows. We looked at who's doing what, where delays are happening, and which steps are totally manual and repetitive. First, the procurement process is super manual. You need multiple approvals for even small purchases, which slows everything down. Second, they work across different countries, and language barriers cause a lot of miscommunication, especially when translating technical documents or contracts. Another big one. They have employees working at other client companies, and managing those people, tracking their attendance, and keeping them aligned with Exceed's own policies is really tricky. Lastly, remote work was a double-edged sword. It gave people flexibility, but also created issues in attendance tracking, privacy, and collaboration due to internet problems or lack of face-to-face teamwork. This helped us visually spot the pain points. Process mapping gave us a clear before and after comparison when we started designing better processes. And these weren't just random guesses, we validated these problems by talking to managers in HR, tech, and procurement. They admitted that while things seem okay on the surface, automation and AI could save them time, reduce errors, and improve team accountability, especially for employees placed in client organizations. So, keeping all that in mind, we didn't just give one size fits all solutions. For each problem we spotted, we proposed a specific re-engineered process complete with updated workflows, the right tools, and even a change management plan. Since we are students, we didn't have full access to company databases, so we relied on qualitative methods like one-on-one talks with employees and informal observations of their daily operations. That actually worked great because we got honest, real-world insights, not just what looks good on paper. That wraps up the first phase of our BPR journey, identifying real problem at Exceed IT and proposing practical tech-supported changes. From here onward, Aisha will walk you through how we refine these ideas in the next assignments and turn them into measurable improvements. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'll proceed with the remaining part. We are in assignment 2 where we proposed concrete solutions for each challenge at Exceed IT. You will see 5 big ideas here. Number 1 is an AI-driven procurement system to speed up purchasing. Second is biometric attendance monitoring to crack down on time fraud. Third is a real-time AI translation and NLP so we don't lose time on language barriers. 4 is a dual reporting setup so external staff stay accountable. And finally, we have a privacy-aware monitoring system that will keep everyone compliant without feeling watched. So let's dig into each one. For procurement, instead of waiting days for manual approvals, the new system routes requests automatically based on budget thresholds. So low-cost items go straight to the operation manager, high-cost items jump to finance. We also built in an AI engine that suggests cheaper vendors if you ask for something expensive. Tools, we are plugging into SAP Ariba or Copa for the ERP side, plus a custom AI recommendation engine and a lightweight blockchain required for audit-proof transactions. Next is attendance. Imagine clocking in with face recognition, no buddy punching. That data wires into Time Doctor or Bamboo HR, which then uses AI to flag irregular patterns, like if someone logs in but isn't active. The goal is to cut time theft by about 80% and boost productivity with real time insights on who's actually working. Slide 12 shows our fix to communication deep dive into AI translation. We are hooking up DeepL or Google Translate APIs right inside our email and Slack channels so messages get auto translated in real time. Long contracts and technical docs go through an automated NLP pipeline, so we reduce translation errors by roughly 60%. For external staff placed at client sites, we are introducing a dual report portal. That means these employees fill out timesheets and progress reports for both their Exceed IT manager and the client side manager. We will track everything in Tableau or Visio, and we even layer in the blockchain style smart contracts so attendance logs can't be tweaked. This double visibility aims to cut misalignment issues by about 50%. Finally, we tackle privacy concerns. Instead of forcing everyone to have their camera on all day, we will move to AI-based activity tracking so the system logs keystrokes or active windows rather than the video. We pair that with role-based monitoring. For instance, developer teams get one level of active tracking, HR gets a lighter level, etc. And we will have put a GDPR-style encryption around all our data. Our goal is to keep 100% labor law compliance without making people feel micromanaged.
I'm back to take you to part 3 of our project. In part 3, we had to apply the BPR solutions we designed in part 2. Since it was a simulated implementation, we followed the Shamash model to plan this step by step. Over 6 months, we showed how each solution could be rolled out, starting with planning and training, then system setup, followed by phased rollout and feedback. To check if the BPR worked, we used realistic key performance indicators like cost saving, approval time, and employee satisfaction. For example, procurement time was reduced from over 3 days to 1.5 days, and remote work compliance went up to 92%. These numbers were part of the simulation but based on actual industry benchmarks. The simulated results showed strong impact. Procurement automation saved over $400,000 yearly, and we cut payroll errors by 65%. Employee productivity went up to 23%, and feedback showed better morale. These outcomes reflect what would likely happen if the solutions were actually applied.
Alright, now we are in assignment 4 where we explain the high-level model behind how we re-engineered everything. We chose the SMASH model, which has 5 steps. First was to understand, where we gather data from stakeholders. Second is to analyze, where we map the current processes and identify gaps. Third is to redesign, where we propose the new workflows. Fourth is to implement, where we roll out our AI systems, biometric tools, and so on. And finally, evaluate, where we measure KPI improvements and iterate. SMASH helps us balance people, technology, and structure in every phase. To make sure people actually adopt these changes, we layered onto 2 classic frameworks, SIPOC and DEMISE. On the left, SIPOC breaks down supplier, input, processes, output, and customer. So we know exactly who's providing input, what the process is, and who consumes the output. This helps us clarify where to insert our new AI or biometric steps. On the right, DEMISE stands for define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Kept us honest. We defined improvements, targets, measured baseline data, analyzed gaps, rolled out improvements, and then set up control to sustain gains. Here, what went well versus what we hit roadblocks on. On the success side, including stakeholders from day 1 really paid off. KPI started improving by month 3, and our 4-phase rollout was seamless because we tested in pilot groups first. On the failure side, a few people resisted using AI tools initially, and we had some tech integration delays. We also saw that if a KPI is underachieved, like communication errors, we needed to refine custom translation glossaries. From those experiences, 3 big lessons emerged. Stakeholders' involvement is critical. Get buy-in before you code a sideline. Transparency builds trust. Tell people exactly how data is used. For example, face recognition only timestamps attendance. We don't watch their screen all day. Phased rollout minimized disruption. Pilots catch errors early so you don't scare people with a giant sudden change. Looking ahead, we want to add a real-time voice translation so teams can talk live and have simultaneous interpretation, predictive AI that suggests HR or procurement actions before issues crop up, mobile dashboards apps so our engineers and managers can check KPI on the go, and the dedicated feedback portals for external staff to raise concerns directly. These in turn feedback into our continuous improvement cycle. In summary, aligning technology with Exceed IT business strategy brought measurable wins, cost saving, productivity boosts, and improved client satisfaction. But the real secret is continuous improvement. We'll keep monitoring KPIs every quarter, gather feedback, and tweak processes. These gains keep compounding as the company scales. Thank you for listening.